Hello students. Hope you all are doing well. Today, we are going to discuss an important topic of HRM, that is, training programs. Studies have shown that companies tend to lend more weight and attention to training only for new employees and entry-level workers. Though training for less experienced employees is important, research reveals that work training programs at all job levels have a direct impact on employees' long-term performance and their monetary benefit to an organization. So, from this, we can say that training is very much important, not only for new employees, but also for old employees, in order to keep them up to date. Now, let's discuss characteristics of good training program. First, it starts with training needs assessment. Under this, WHO, what and how of training programs are answered, means who needs to be trained, what they need training on, and how the training process will be supported and aligned with strategic objectives. Second is to identify and communicate purpose, objectives, and outcome. Under this step, HR manager will determine the following. Objective of the training program means why there is need to provide training. After that, outcome means expected results are also mentioned. Third step is related with relevant content. Means to be effective, training must include content that is directly linked to trainees' job experiences. Fourth is active demonstration. Trainers need to actively demonstrate the specific skills and processes included in the training. Conducting these lived demonstrations provides trainees with a model of desired behavior and results in greater learning. Fifth is opportunities for practice. Effective training programs include multiple opportunities for trainees to practice the skills they have learned during class time. For example, on-the-job training methods. Sixth is regular feedback during training. Trainers also need to give feedback to employees while they are practicing their new skills. Feedback should be given both during practice and after exercises have been completed. Seventh is post-training environment. After training, it is important that employees are given opportunities to perform the skills they have learned. It is of utmost importance, because without this, efficiency of training program cannot be ensured. Last but not the least, marketing and communication. Having a marketing strategy is an integral part of your implementation and an essential component of a successful learning and development program. Moreover, any communication sent out to employees should include not only an overview and clearly defined expectations, but also show an employee what is in it for them. Now moving forward to designing a training program for a company. So, which points should be taken into consideration while designing a training program? Let's discuss those points in a little depth. First one is need assessment, which is divided into 3 assessments. These are as follows. Organizational assessment. In this type of needs assessment, we can determine the skills, knowledge, and abilities a company needs to meet its strategic objectives. Occupational assessment. This type of assessment looks at the specific tasks, skills, knowledge, and abilities required to do jobs within the organization. Individual assessment. An individual assessment looks at the performance of an individual employee and determines what training should be accomplished for that individual. Question mark. Secondly, by knowing the audience. Knowing the answers to these questions can help you develop relevant delivery style. How long have they been with the organization? Or, are they new employees? What departments do they work in? Apart from this, content development is also taken into consideration. Development of learning objectives or those things you want your learners to know after the training makes for a more focused training. Learning objectives should be considered as goals. Furthermore, by determining affected employees. Once the organization compiled the subjects on which there is need to train, they need to figure out which employees need which training. Besides this, attention is also paid to company policy. For certain areas or subjects, your organization's policies may spell out who is to be trained, in what, and on what frequency. Use these instructions to start your list of affected employees. Employee records are also considered for this. Records should be reviewed to determine if he need more safety training. At last, performance data of employee is taken into consideration. Review this information to identify weaknesses in performance that may require refresher training in how to use equipment and machines more efficiently or in how to use more productive procedures. Moving on to methods for determining which employees need training, ranging from informal to formal. Observations. The manager needs to be careful about the workplace and must be able to identify employees who need training in specific areas. Informal discussions. Talk with employees, supervisors, and managers to get candid information about areas where people feel well equipped to do their jobs and areas where they are uncomfortable. Question mark. Focus groups. This method involves selecting a group of hand-picked employees and asking them design questions regarding training. This activity gives you the opportunity to gather data from a few people in a short period of time. Focus groups are good for brainstorming, which can be a valuable source of information. Make sure the selected members are outspoken. A quiet participant may be hesitant to contribute. Interviews. Personal interviews can be very effective for discovering what training employees want, but it can also be very time-consuming. This method is best for specialized training that affects a small percentage of the workforce. Questionnaires. Compose a few questions specific to training you are planning. This method is effective for elective training or for new training areas in which you want to begin programs. Keep answers confidential so employees feel comfortable submitting their input. That's all in this lecture. Thank you.